Hey Story Seekers, welcome to Seeking Stories, where we unlock the secrets of your favorite books and movies. My name is Ryan, and today we're talking about Chapter 4 of The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, A Shortcut to Mushrooms. Now, in this video series, I'm really breaking down each of the chapters of Fellowship of the Ring just a little bit to give you some insight and some tidbits and some things to think about, and keeping the videos between 5 to 10 minutes long. This video I'm purposely going to keep a little bit short because we're getting to the point in the story where there's a lot of walking and there's a lot of repetition, and some people love that. Myself, I do enjoy it because I've read the story many times and I just love the slow meandering of the hobbits and Frodo really kind of taking in the Shire one last time, and we get the slow burn of the Black Rider and figuring out who he is and are the hobbits going to escape. But for many people, especially first-time readers of Tolkien or those who are not familiar with his writing style at all, it can seem like a little bit of a drag. And it doesn't get much better in the next few chapters if that kind of thing bothers you. The story does get better, but there's a lot more walking. And we're going to talk about that when this whole kind of walking section wraps up, because there's a lot of kind of discussion on that in kind of the Tolkien community. But for now, I just want to encourage you to kind of bear with it. We will get through this section, and the story really will pick up some pace for sure. But for now, I would just encourage you to enjoy kind of reading Tolkien's writing. It's so good, it's so juicy, it's like eating like a good meal, a good hearty meal. And if you're just trying to blast through Tolkien just to get the story done, you're not going to appreciate it. I'm just going to be blunt with you. But if you can really stop and appreciate his writing style, even if it's not quite your writing style, but just take in some of that wonderful prose that he has. I'm biased, of course. I'm a Tolkien fanatic, but just give him a chance. Moving into the story at hand, though, I want to talk about theme again, because theme is like one of the most powerful things of the story. And in this case, we hear about theme through the eyes and really the mind and words of Samwise Gamgee, Frodo's servant, who becomes a large part of this journey. I seem to see ahead in a kind of way. I know we are going to take a very long road into darkness, but I know I can't turn back. It isn't to see elves now, nor dragons, nor mountains that I want. I don't rightly know what I want. But I have something to do before the end, and it lies ahead, not in the Shire. I must see it through, sir, if you understand me. Again, that's Sam to Frodo. And Tolkien's giving us another theme here. It's the sense of duty, the theme of duty. And we get Sam here, who's really never been outside the Shire. He's completely out of his comfort zone. He's always been interested in elves, but he's seen his elves. He saw his elves, in chapter 3, and he is awed by them, enamored by them. And really, even though I think he was kind of like awestruck, I think he really, really appreciated every moment of that. So he's had that like bucket list item like fulfilled. So he's good there. But he knows there's something that has to be done, and I think it goes back to that idea that there is something at work in this world besides the will of evil, that Frodo was meant to find the ring. And I think Sam subconsciously gets a little bit of that sense. He understands that he has a part to play in the story, and his part at this point is to serve his master Frodo, but it may be something bigger than that. And as we learn later on, Sam really does give up a whole lot. He, gives up, he's not married or anything at this point, but he gives up his family, his father, Gaffer Gamgee, who is kind of the main gardener of the Shire, particularly of Bag End, so to speak. Sam had a good, quote, career doing something he loved to do, but he's going outside of his comfort zone to follow Frodo. I don't really think at this point Sam quite understands what he's doing as far as going to save the Shire. Frodo understands that. He understands what's at stake. Sam knows that they're going into danger, but I don't quite think he understands what's at stake at this point, which I definitely want to draw your attention to, because as the story goes on, Sam, spoiler but not really, Sam goes on a great character arc here, probably one of the best in the entire series. So it's great to see him from the beginning, really not really knowing what's going on, but knowing he has something to do. He has that sense of duty that is so strong in many of the characters. But some characters, as we'll see later on, they take this sense of duty way too far, to the point of their own detriment and the detriment of other characters. Whereas Sam is really biding his time. He knows what his purpose is, to protect and care for Frodo, and he's going to do that to his best. And that's really where his duty is at this point. So I was going to talk about a few more things, but I kind of want to leave it there. What are your thoughts on the sense of duty, but more maybe not importantly, because it's not definitely not more important in the sense of duty, but maybe more dramatically, all this walking that the hobbits are doing. Is that doing you in? Do you enjoy it? Are you going to keep powering through if this is your first time reading it? I'd love to know. Drop me a comment in the comments below, and I will see you soon in Chapter 5, A Conspiracy Unmasked.